Stop everything you're doing right now. What you're about to discover in the next few minutes will completely change your perspective on the future of humanity. Leave your like now if you want to know the truth that no one dares to reveal. This man you see on the screen has the highest IQ ever recorded in human history, 274 points. To give you an idea, Einstein had 160, Stephen Hawking also 160. But this man surpassed all the limits of human intelligence, and he just made a statement that shocked the entire world. Jesus Christ will return in our generation. Comment now. Do you believe this is possible? I want to hear your opinion. But wait, that's not all. This genius, Young Hun Kim, isn't just speculating. He's analyzed every biblical prophecy, every current event, every symbol of the apocalypse, using his mind that transcends human limits. And do you know what he discovered? That all the signs are aligning now, in our time, in a way that has never happened before in history. Subscribe now, because what comes next will leave you speechless. But here's the question that will make you question everything you thought you knew. How can the smartest man in the world be absolutely sure of something that Jesus himself said not even he knew? Of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but my Father only. Has Kim discovered something that went unnoticed for 2,000 years? Or is he making the same mistake that has destroyed the faith of thousands of people throughout history? Turn on notifications, because this video may be censored at any time. Today you will discover the 7 prophetic signs Kim identified that are happening now, why past predictions failed, and why this could be different, what the Bible really says about knowing the end times, the shocking discovery that could change everything we know about prophecy. Comment. Have you ever felt like we're living in different times? Something in the air that you can't explain. But I warn you, after watching this video, you'll never see the news the same way again. Every world event will take on a new meaning. Every prophecy will make sense in ways you never imagined. Share this video now, because everyone needs to know about it. Hold on tight, because we're going to enter the mind of the smartest man on earth and find out if he really solved humanity's greatest mystery. Before we dive into Kim's revelation, I need you to understand something crucial. This isn't the first time someone has claimed to know when Jesus will return, and all the previous times ended in total disaster. Leave in the comments. Do you know anyone who has ever believed in a prediction about the end of the world? 1844. William Miller convinced thousands of people to sell everything they owned and climb mountains to wait for Jesus. The day arrived, nothing happened. It was called the Great Disappointment, and people lost their homes, their families, their very faith. 1914, 1925, 1975, Jehovah's Witnesses erred not once, not twice, but 3 times. Each error left followers devastated and confused. 2011, Harold Camping spent millions on billboards announcing the end of the world on May 21st. When the day passed normally, he simply changed the date to October. Wrong again. Subscribe if you want to understand why this time might be different. But Young Hun Kim is no ordinary preacher. He's a phenomenon of human intelligence. While most people only use 10% of their brain, Kim seems to have unlocked capabilities we never knew existed. He didn't just read the Bible. He decoded every prophecy using sacred mathematics, studied the Dead Sea Scrolls, analyzed apocryphal writings that most people don't even know about. Comment. Do you think extreme intelligence can reveal things the rest of us can't see? But here's what puzzles me. Why is Kim so sure when Jesus himself said he didn't know the day or the hour? Did Kim discover something that his own disciples didn't? Are there clues hidden in the scriptures that only a mind like his could decipher? Turn on notifications, because you can't miss what's next. What makes this situation even more fascinating is the timing. Never before in human history have we seen so many prophetic signs come true simultaneously. Israel became a nation again in 1948 after 1,900 years. The gospel is being preached in 98% of the world's languages. Wars and rumors of wars like never before. Technology enables the fulfillment of prophecies that seemed impossible. Leave a like if you also feel that our generation is experiencing something unique. Kim isn't just guessing at a date. He's connecting dots that he says form a pattern that's impossible to ignore. A pattern that points to our generation being the last. But is he right? right? Or is he falling into the same trap that has destroyed the faith of so many others? Let's find out together by analyzing every argument, every prophecy, every sign that Kim identified. Section 1. The signs Kim identified. Comment: which of these signs impresses you the most? Young Hun Kim didn't reach his conclusion lightly. He identified 7 specific prophetic signs that, according to his analysis, are being fulfilled simultaneously for the first time in history. Sign 1. The restoration of Israel. Imagine the scene. Jesus walking with his disciples, looking up at the majestic temple in Jerusalem. That building seemed indestruction-proof, but Jesus said something that must have sounded crazy. Not one stone will be left upon another that will not be thrown down. Subscribe to find out how this prophecy was literally fulfilled. In 70 AD, exactly 40 years later, Roman soldiers demolished the temple stone by stone. Do you know why? The fire melted all the decorative gold which seeped between the stones. The soldiers dismantled everything to recover every ounce of gold. Prophecy fulfilled with surgical precision, but it didn't stop there. The Bible also prophesied that the Jews would be scattered throughout the world. The Lord will scatter you among all peoples, from one end of the earth to the other. For 1,700 years, the Jews had no homeland. Powerful empires like Babylon and Rome disappeared, but the Jewish people survived. Leave in the comments, do you think this is a coincidence or a prophetic fulfillment? Here comes the amazing part. On May 14th, 1948, Israel became a nation again, in a single day. Isaiah had prophesied, "Who has ever heard of such a thing? Can a nation be born in a day?" Kim identifies this moment as the reset of God's prophetic clock. After 1,900 years of standing still, time has begun ticking again. Sign 2. The gospel preached throughout the world. Jesus said, "This gospel will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come." Please share this video because the stats I'm about to show you are awesome. The numbers are surreal. The Bible has been translated into 3,495 languages, 98% of the world's population. Every 10 days, a new translation is completed. In 1900, more than half the world had never heard of Jesus. Today, only 3% remain unreached. Kim argues that never in history has this prophecy been so close to complete fulfillment. Sign 3. Labor pains. Jesus compared the signs of the end to birth pangs. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but these are only the beginning of birth pangs. Turn on notifications because this data will shock you. The Greek word Jesus used was odin, specifically labor pain, not just any pain. Pains that start out mild and become stronger and more frequent until the baby is born. In the 20th century alone, 108 million people died in wars, more than all previous centuries combined. There are currently 56 active conflicts or wars simultaneously in the world. Kim identifies this pattern as the contractions intensifying before the birth of the new era. Section 2. The pattern Kim discovered. Comment: can you see the pattern Kim identified? This is where Kim's genius reveals itself. He's not just looking at isolated signals. He's identified a mathematical and temporal pattern that has never existed before. The pattern of generations. Generation 1, destruction of the temple, 70 AD. Generation 2, dispersion of the Jews, 7135 AD. Prophetic pause, 1900 years. Generation 3, restoration of Israel, 1948. Generation 4, world evangelization, 1950-2020. Generation 5, signal intensification, 2020 present. Leave a like if you are following this reasoning. Kim uses the biblical definition of a generation, 70-80 years, and calculates that if Israel was restored in 1948, the generation that saw that event would not pass away until everything was fulfilled. 1948 plus 70 years, 2018, 1948 plus 80 years, 2028. We are exactly in the time window that Kim identified. Section 3, Sacred Mathematics. Subscribe because what's coming next will blow your mind. Kim didn't stop at the obvious prophecies. He delved into Hebrew sacred mathematics and discovered numerical patterns that he says confirm his theory. The prophetic numbers. 7. Number of divine perfection appears 737 times in the Bible. 40. Number of trials, flood, desert, Jesus fast. 70. Number of completeness, Babylonian captivity, generations. Kim identified that we are in the 70th Jubilee since creation, according to the Jewish calendar, and the 40th Jubilee since the First Temple. Comment: do you think God uses mathematics to reveal his plans? He also analyzed lunar cycles, sabbatical years, and astronomical patterns mentioned in the Bible. All of this, according to Kim, points to our era as being special. Section 4. Technological signals. Here's where it gets really impressive. Turn on notifications because you can't miss this. The Bible prophesies events that were impossible to happen until our generation. Revelation 11, 9-10. People from every tribe, language, and nation will see the bodies of the two witnesses for 3.5 days. How could the whole world see something happening in Jerusalem simultaneously? Impossible until the age of TV and the internet. Revelation 13, 16-17. He made everyone receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, without which no one could buy or sell. A controlled global payment system. Impossible until the digital age, cryptocurrencies and QR codes. Leave in the comments. Do you see a connection between current technology and the prophecies? Kim argues that technology is no coincidence. It is setting the stage for the fulfillment of the final prophecies. Section 5. The temple that needs to be rebuilt. Share, because this is crucial to understanding timing. The prophecy speaks of a temple in Jerusalem where the Antichrist will sit. Problem: there has been no temple in Jerusalem since 70 AD, but Kim discovered something incredible. The Jews are already preparing to rebuild the temple. Architectural plans, ready building materials, separated trained priests, prepared sacred utensils, reproduced. Everything is ready for this prophecy to be fulfilled for the first time in 2,000 years. Subscribe if you want to follow these developments. Kim estimates that the temple's reconstruction could happen at any time, especially if there is a crisis that justifies drastic changes in the region. The moment of truth. Is Kim right or wrong? Leave in the comments now. After everything you've seen, do you think Kim might be right? We've reached the crucial moment. After analyzing all of Kim's arguments, we must address the central question. Is it possible that the smartest man in the world has deciphered what no one has managed to do in 2,000 years? The difference between Kim and the others. Subscribe, because I'm going to reveal what makes Kim different from everyone else. Here's what sets Kim apart from all the prophets of the past. Scientific method. Kim isn't guessing dates. He's using mathematical analysis, historical patterns, and statistical correlations. Intellectual humility. Kim doesn't say, Jesus is coming back in 2025. He says, Jesus will come back in our generation, 70-80 year period. Converging. Evidence. Kim is not based on one isolated prophecy, but on the simultaneous fulfillment of multiple prophecies. Historical precedent. Unlike others, Kim can prove that his core prophecies have already been fulfilled. Restoration of Israel, worldwide evangelization, etc. Turn on notifications because what's coming next could change your life. But there is still a problem. Even with all of Kim's intelligence, we still come up against Jesus's clear statement of that day and hour no one knows. How to resolve this contradiction? Kim offers a fascinating interpretation. Jesus said that no one knows the day or the hour. He did not say that no one would know the generation or the season. Comment: do you think this interpretation makes sense? Kim argues that Jesus was referring to the exact moment, a specific day and hour. But the scriptures are full of clues about the time and signs that would precede his return. The final prophetic pattern. Here's where Kim makes her boldest move. Leave a like if you want to know what Kim's conclusion is. Kim identified that we are living in what he calls the final prophetic convergence, a unique moment in history where geographic sign, Israel restored, technological signal, global evangelization possible, political signal, possibility of world government, economic signal, global financial system, spiritual sign, apostasy and spiritual coldness, natural sign, intensified disasters and pandemics, time sign within the 70-80 year window of 1948. Share this because every Christian needs to know this. Kim asserts that never in human history have all these signals aligned simultaneously, and that this convergence can only mean one thing: we are in the final generation. The sequence of final events based on his analysis, Kim predicts the following sequence. Next year's intensification of signals already happening. Catalyzing event, crisis that will allow the reconstruction of the temple. Rapture. Believers are taken rebellion before the tribulation. Tribulation, years of the Antichrist's rule. Second coming, Jesus returns to reign for 1,000 years. Sign up to not miss any developments from these events. But what if Kim is wrong? This is the question we all ask ourselves, and Kim has a surprising answer. Even if I'm wrong about the timing, I'm not wrong about the signs. They are real and they are coming to pass. If not our generation, it will be the next. But the fulfillment of prophecy is inevitable. Comment, do you agree with this reasoning? Kim argues that even if his time frame is slightly off, the signs are so clear that Jesus' return is imminent, whether it's in 5, 10, or 20 years. The call to action. Turn on notifications because this part is crucial. Kim isn't making these predictions to scare anyone. He has a specific goal. If we are truly in the final generation, then every day matters. Every decision matters. Every person you can reach matters. Kim uses her platform to encourage search for personal holiness, urgent evangelization, spiritual preparation, constant surveillance. Leave in the comments, how are you preparing yourself spiritually? The responsibility of intelligence. Here's something that impresses me about Kim. He doesn't use his intelligence to feed his ego, but to serve God and warn humanity. He says, God gave me this mind not for my glory, but to decipher his signs and prepare his people. Share if you believe God uses specific people to reveal his plans. This brings us to the final question. What if Kim is right? What if we really are living in the last days of human history as we know it? How should this affect the way we live today? But wait, there's something I haven't told you yet. Comment now. Do you want to know what the most impressive sign Kim discovered is? After everything we've seen, Kim revealed something that will completely change your perspective on what's happening in the world right now. He identified a pattern in the events of 2020-2025 that is mathematically impossible to be a coincidence. Subscribe now because I'll reveal this in the next video. Kim has calculated that we are living in what he calls the last. Into 260 days, a specific prophetic period mentioned in Revelation that few have understood until now. And what he discovered about this period will leave you speechless. Turn on notifications because you can't miss the sequel. Furthermore, Kim made a specific prediction about something that will happen in the next 6 months that, if fulfilled, will prove him right all along. Leave in the comments, do you want to know what this forecast is? In the next video, I will reveal the sign Kim says is the most definitive, the specific forecast for the coming months. Why 2025 could be the most important year in history. Share this video now because everyone needs to be prepared. So is Kim right or wrong? After analyzing all the arguments, evidence and patterns presented by young Hun Kim, we came to a fascinating conclusion. Leave your final opinion on Kim's predictions in the comments. Kim may be right about the timing, he may be wrong about the timing, but one thing is undeniable. The signs he identified are real and are coming to fruition before our eyes. Whether Kim was right or wrong about our generation being the last, his main message remains valid. Live as if Jesus could return today, but plan as if he were not coming back for 100 years. Subscribe if you agree that we should live prepared. Kim's genius lies not only in his intelligence, but in his ability to connect dots that most of us miss. And even if he's wrong about the specific timing, he's done us a valuable service. He woke us up. Turn on notifications because we will continue to follow the fulfillment of the prophecies. Regardless of whether her predictions come true or not, Kim has accomplished something few can, getting millions of people to reflect on eternity, purpose, and spiritual preparation. Share if you think this reflection is important for our generation. And you, how will you live knowing this? Last chance. Subscribe now and turn on notifications. Regardless of whether Kim is right or wrong, one thing is certain. Our generation is living in unique times in history. The signs are there, events are unfolding, and each of us must decide how we will respond. Comment, how did this video change your perspective on the future? Whether our generation is the last or not, may we live each day with purpose, each moment with meaning, and each opportunity with urgency. Leave a like if you want more content about prophecies and signs of the times. Share so more people can reflect on these signs. Time is passing, and only God knows how much we have left. See you in the next video.